Hi, everybody. This is a day trade recap. Today is December 15th, and it was a very choppy day, a very unstable day. There was no momentum. None, zero, zip, none. So, for a day trader, you have to be very selective, and I was. First trade, I only worked with two stocks today and really didn't do very many trades on them, but BFRI is one that has run previously. So, I already had some target lines, but I can show you the daily chart, 20-year one-day chart. It had made this move recently over here from, what was it, the 246 all the way up to 10 eventually. And it's been chopping around. It came down to this range and we're starting to make an uptrend. So I've kind of been watching this for a few days. It doesn't make huge moves, but they're enough to catch. So that, I know it's hard to read this daily chart, but basically it's just on a little bit of an uptrend, but it's in a range. So let me go back to my 1 minute chart. With nothing else moving, I was just listening very carefully for something to get in. And this one had made like a dollar move. It went from 646 up to, 50 cents. 646, oh no, it started down here. Went from $6 to $7 during pre-market. And I didn't get in on any of that. I didn't even see it until after it had made this $7 turn down to support. And so I was watching that, looking for it to reclaim VWAP right here. My purple line is my VWAP. So I was looking for that. And that's, see that green arrow? That was my entry right at $6.92, just a little bit before opening bell. And this down here is where I confirm my play when I have a green bar and things are not pointing down on this line that kind of moves. So we had a pretty good setup here, and I thought, well, it's above VWAP now. It's already hit this level. It should push through as long as everything says continuation, because my next line is 757. So, I made from 692 to 757 was my trade on that one, and it only took a few minutes, and that was a pretty good little trade, right? Pretty good little trade, getting in on this candle, getting out here at my line, right? And then I watched to see how it treated that line, and it wanted to treat it as support, but I knew that with this thing being so close to this top yellow line, that tells me, hey, it's about to turn, it's done. And see how it did. This is why I love my Z-score, because it really helps me it helps me know exhaustion of a trend, helps me know when it's potentially going to reverse and come down. So yeah, anyway, once you've gone through one of these green targets, it has to come down to major support, and that's usually what I look for, major support. It's tagged it. I'm not going to look for an entry until it's tagged major support, and here it comes down and it crashes through all the supports. It crashed through the 9, the 20, the VWAP, the 50, and all the way down to the 200. And at this point, I wasn't even looking at it anymore. I didn't expect much from it. It was below VWAP and it was just looking weak. And an NXTD had already caught my eye at that point. So NXTD, it started firing off, and I heard it on my scanner right here. Well, actually right here. And it was so close to this target that it was making a pullback, and I didn't get in on this one big push, which wasn't really much range, only like 15 cents. So I thought, okay, it's at this green line. What did I just tell you about this green line? Once it's hit this green target line, it has to come down to major support. So price is coming down and it hits the VWAP, and it tries to push, and it hits that same green line one more time, a little bit above it. So it's tagged that level twice, right? So now I expected it to at least come down to the 50, which it did. Came down to the 50, and then if you zoom out, you can see here's my yellow line, and then there's my green target line. This for me is always kind of a choppy range between the yellow and the green, and it just, if you zoom all the way out, you can see that you can trade this range, and I did, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But just understand that this is between the yellow and the green is going to be chop. And do you see how price just got caught in that range right there? So this is how you range trade. You look for the price, a signal at the bottom of this range, at the yellow line, and then you just take it to the top of that range. And that's a scalp. You can trade the range. Don't expect to go past that top line until you get a signal above it, right? You have to get a fresh signal above it, or something else to lead you to believe that, hey, it's going to continue past. But rarely, when it starts down here and goes to here, rarely will you get it to go past there the first time, okay? And so anyway, I was able to get in on this range trade at $3.09 and go up to $3.35. That wasn't a big thing, but I knew I was in a range, and I knew I was coming in as early as I could, as low as I could, at the best signal I could get. and I knew that I'd be lucky to get out alive just trading this range because price action was a bit weak. I mean, this was pretty standard, but we'd already tagged this level twice, and I didn't expect. Usually it's a rule of three strikes and you're out, and you see that 1, 2, 3. So that one was done, and that's all I had today. That's all I had. But anyway, in terms of how I drew my targets for this one, if I were to erase them and you just see what I was working with at the time, you can see I marked this. Do you see this red line right there? That's where I did my top click for my targets. Let me go down and get my target line drawing tool. I click there right at that red line, and I draw down to basically where price started, and that's my target, and that gives me this range as well. So, it's useful on the upside and it's useful on the downside. It helps me understand where support and resistance and ranges will be so that you can trade it all you want as long as the thing's set up. But anyway, that's how today went. The Feds had their little statement today. Markets are bracing for some crazy action. Be careful out there if you're trading. Be very, very careful because things are kind of, the planets and stars and everything's aligning, and it's not looking good unless you're a short trader. But even then, it's scary. But I just want you to be very careful. If you need any help with your charting tools and understanding how to draw targets, or if you like these tools that I have on my chart, it makes things really easy if you have it set up like this. But if you need anything, just reach out to me and I can work with you and help you. Okay, I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know, and we will talk soon.